I am so pleased and happy to be joined by Jerome Tang of Kansas State, who I think is one of the coaches that actually sometimes listens to the show, right? Like you actually.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. More of us, right? More of us, right?
More of us than there are them.
There we go. Jerome Tang, welcome to the Eye on College Basketball Podcast. Absolutely love it. I want to get to a lot here in a little bit amount of time, but we were just talking before we went live about your schedule. It is a solid schedule, but I want to know the methodology when it comes to playing in the Big 12. It's an absolute grind. How you balance the Big 12 schedule with, you don't want to get into a spot where you are near the bubble cut line and then you look back at your non-con and say, did we not schedule one more good game that we might have needed to? So what is your personal methodology on how you try and schedule, who you schedule in the non-con, knowing the meat grinder that's awaiting for you from January to mid-March?
Yeah, well, for me, scheduling a non-conference is to prepare you for the Big 12, right? And, I mean, that's 18 this year, meat grinders. Mm-hmm. And so what I want to do is try and go on the road and play in a tough road environment that's going to help prepare us. Because in the Big 12, if you win 10 or more games in the Big 12, you're going to go to the NCAA tournament. As long as you had a decent non-conference, it doesn't matter who you played. It was decent. So if you play a bunch of cupcakes, mm-hmm. right, you're probably not preparing yourself to do well in the Big 12. And if you play too hard of a schedule, right, then like now you're putting yourself at a deficit, and it's hard to win 10 games in the Big 12 because the goal is to get to the NCAA tournament. Get to the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. Now there's some guys in some years you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, I want to schedule for seeding. Yeah. But when you're rebuilding your roster every year, like it's hard to determine whether you're scheduling for seeding and the schedule is being done before you're finished recruiting.
Yes.
So there's a lot of that goes into it. And so I figure, 5 to 6 high major in the non-conference to go with your 18 in the conference. That puts you 23, 24 games of high major games. I mean, I think that's fair.
I have high hopes for your program this season. I do expect a bounce back. Some quick self-evaluation. What went wrong last season? And that could have been something even before you played a game, but just before we look ahead and see how you've changed and what you've changed. And I know you hold yourself like plenty accountable and all this stuff, Jerome, but like where were the misses? And were you surprised by them? Did you have a sense maybe privately in the lead up to the season that, okay, maybe we don't have what I thought we had? I'm just curious. I love talking to coaches about the big successes, but I often find I learn more from you guys when you're really able to reflect and tell me, okay, here's actually where I have my fault and where I went wrong.
Well, now we won 6 games in a row in conference, and 4 of them were against ranked teams. So we had plenty of talent. Mm-hmm. We went wrong. I went wrong, and I told my staff I wouldn't talk about this anymore. I wouldn't, but I'll do this with you.
I appreciate that,
okay,
Jerome.
There's a saying that expectations without grace leads to disappointment and frustration. And for a long part of the season, I was living in frustration and disappointment, and because I wasn't the best version of myself. And I say that to tell you that everybody talked about how would NIL impact the players in the locker room. Nobody talked about how it would impact me as a coach. How would I respond to paying guys? Guys are being paid, and then they're still acting like 18 to 23-year-olds. Mm-hmm. They're professionals. They're pros money-wise, but they're not professional.
Right.
Right. They haven't learned how to have a routine, and they haven't matured to the point where, if the people that work at CBS, if you don't do your job, you're supposed to be a professional, they're going to fire you and bring somebody else in. Well, when they don't do their job in college athletics, we don't get to fire and bring somebody else in. And that's not what our calling is. And I was viewing it too much like that, and it was frustrating me. And then I wasn't being the best version of myself to help our team. And when I was finally able to deal with it, and my staff brought it to my attention, and I was able to get past that, then our team started playing the way that they were capable of playing, or was able to get to where they were capable of playing. But we screwed up in the non-conference too much because of me. And so that, I was able to evaluate myself and say, where am I lacking? What do I need? Where's the program lacking? Where college basketball is going, what do I need to put into the program that's not here right now? Because I spend so much time fundraising, roster management, and recruiting that I don't get to do a lot of the player development things and other things that I love doing. So I had to bring people in to do those things so that now we have a better plan moving forward.
And so to a certain extent, I think the picture you painted there was your staff kind of came in and opened up the curtains on you. Like they brought it to you and it was maybe intervention's too strong of a word, or maybe it was.
No, it was. We're sitting in the Virgin Islands and, we're talking about what the frustrations are, what's going on, this and that. And they're kind of telling me everyone is saying something. And I said, man, it sounds like y'all are saying that I'm the issue. But none of y'all have the balls to stand up and say, Coach, you're the issue. And I heard it loud and clear. And I was like, man, y'all got to be willing to confront me. And the great thing is I got guys on my staff, Bill Peterson and Matt Driscoll, who are both willing to come sit down in my office and say, man, this is dumb what we're doing right now, or we need to do this differently. And I appreciate that.
That's good stuff. That's what we're digging a little bit into the weeds, which hopefully our viewers and listeners appreciate, though, because you and I both know there are definitely, right or wrong, there are staffs that wouldn't do that in this sport with their head coach, and there are probably some head coaches that wouldn't want to necessarily hear that. So for you to have that amount of trust, communication, obviously a really healthy thing for you and your program. I love to hear that. Let's talk about this team. We do have to start with PJ Haggerty. We bumped into each other by coincidence last night. I know you are so excited about what he can do. You think he really could wind up being one of the best, if not the best players in the entire country this season?
He's the best point guard in the country, and he just hasn't been required to be a great leader. They've just asked him, hey, just go get us buckets. And he's learning how to be a great leader, and he's embracing it. And I'm excited. It's been so much fun being around him and coaching him and just watching him grow as a leader, because he can hoop.
Yeah.
Right? He can hoop.
Natural hooper.
Yeah, and he's a way better passer than I thought. Right? We thought we'd have to teach him ball screen reads and certain things, and man, he's like embraced it. He sees it. Makes adjustments on his own on the floor and moves guys around based on the play that we're going to run in order to get the right guy shots, and makes great suggestions basketball wise. And now it's just about all the other little things, off the court, how you develop relationships with your teammates, and how the energy you bring to practice, and how you talk to guys, and how guys like to be talked to, knowing every guy is different, and he's embracing the whole thing.
Okay, shine a light on your other guys and how they are playing with PJ and how kind of the collective unit has been lifted there. I know you're super deep at guard, right? So who and how have they stood out in the weeks leading up to the opener here?
Well, Abdi Bashir can really, really shoot the ball. Nate Johnson is a beast. He can guard multiple positions. He's a big-time athlete.
Is he your best defender?
Well, him and Moby.
Okay.
Him and Moby. But we need one at the guard spot. We need one at the forward spot that can guard 1.5, because, Abdi's learning to be a better defender. He's never been required to do it, but he's pouring into it to try to be. Andre Kostick is learning how to be a better defender, but Andre and Abdi can really, really shoot the ball. We have 6 guards. C.J. Jones has a chance to be really, really special for us because of what he can do at 6'5" defensively, how he can get to the rack and finish, and it's just so many things. Like, everybody's getting better, and David Castillo's playing at a high level right now. High level. So we have 6 guards they're really good.
Are you going to run out some 4-guard lineups, because of your depth?
I think it's going to require me to do that at times, where you have 4 guards. But when Andre's 6'7" and Abdi's 6'6", and so,
right, I understand. So guard/wing. Yeah. But maybe, sometimes this can benefit coaches depending on style and certainly personnel. If you're going to be a little bit of a zag to most other teams in the league when it comes to when they got to play you and they got to prep you and they got to scout you, and if it's a 2-day turnaround, that can really work to your advantage there. Was this an intentional portal approach, or did you just kind of get to a point where it's like, well, we got the guys we like and I really like them, and now look at this, we have 6 guards and wings that we know we can go with, and so let's just adjust what we want to do with the personnel that we wound up having? Or did you kind of seek to have this relative roster build when you went into the portal?
Well, we wanted depth at the guard position, because in college basketball you win with guards, and then I wanted bigger guards. more size, and because we struggled defensive rebounding, and I believe that, and we switched so much on defense that I didn't want to have a big of a mismatch on the switch to a forward. I thought that would help us defensive rebounding, but I really love our forwards too. We got 5 of them and maybe 6 whether we decide to redshirt Stephen Osei or not.
Okay.
That they're pretty good, and it's gonna be better for them because of how much gravity people are gonna Abdi creates, Andre creates, PJ creates. It's going to make the game easier for those guys to be scorers, finishers, and productive.
Okay, one more on just the preseason. Anything we haven't touched on that you're particularly excited about, be it a moment in practice or just a general feeling you have over the past 4 to 6 weeks, Jerome? Just, set the table here on what K-State fans really should be excited for once we get to the real games less than 2 weeks away. What's in the air there?
Yeah, during the season, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, you're going to face adversity, and this is a group of guys that you don't mind going through tough times with, and we've gone through it. You know what I mean? Like Shark Week and the team retreat that we did where they faced their fears of heights and all the different things we've done. They haven't shied away from it, man, and so you love that, and you love how they're willing to help hold each other accountable. And the growth that's taking place. And I tell you, we got some shot makers, man, so that makes it easy. I'm looking forward to find out whether our defense sucks or whether they're really as good of shot makers as they've shown in practice. And, because in practice, K-State wins, K-State loses.
Yes, correct.
So.
Yes. Okay, we'll get you out of here on this. I'm going to put him on the spot here. Do you have a particular podcast joke theme episode? Anything about the pod? Let's talk about us. Okay, let's talk about me and Parrish now. We've had enough about Jerome Tang in this program. There. Anything in particular that we so very much appreciate the fact that you listen. But if we got a coach that actually listens to the show and is psycho, I don't even know why Jerome would do this. But regardless, anything you want to prop up on the show that we can put on like a scissor reel to like promote the show here? What is it about our nonsense that you actually want to tolerate on a weekly basis?
First of all, you guys really know basketball, but you go a little bit deeper in some of your talks. But it's none of that. It's when you're you and he's him. And when Parrish was talking about his kids and the baseball bat. And putting the hole in the wall or the spray paint, right, on the house. It's like I've lived that, right? And it just I just relate to you guys, and so it's fun to listen to guys I can relate to.
Okay. Did you listen to the recent episode where I dropped the cocksaki on GP? Did you hear that yet?
No, okay, I haven't listened.
Okay, well, you're going to have to listen to that. If you can relate to any of your children having had hand, foot, and mouth disease or whatever, which is cocksaki, he thought I said something else. It was a moment you're going to appreciate. Just text us when you listen to that. So
I don't think we've ever had the hand, foot, and mouth.
Okay, well, I hope you don't. I hope you don't. But no, it was. But
you guys, y'all just smash it like Brandon Davies.
There
man.
we go.
You do. You smash it like Brandon Davies all the time.
Look at this guy right here, the best. Jerome Tang, head coach of Kansas State. You are among the very, very best. Appreciate you coming on. This will not be his last appearance on the pod. Thank you so much.
Thank you.